She is. She is. Yes, said it with my chest.
Yes, baby. What is up, y'all? It is your host, Rennie, and you're listening to another episode of the Call Me Crazy podcast.
What's up, you
What's
guys?
good?
Okay, so me and Rennie were talking earlier about just what we do, business in general, how life has been going, and we decided very impromptu to actually record one of our live events the same day. So props to Rennie for putting that all together and creating the vibe, but we're actually right outside of our studio right now. This is my best friend and business partner, Donia Rose.
What is up? What is up? We're ready to get some learning in about crypto, about making money online. So let's go ahead. Let's go on in.
Follow us!
After you.
First cut?
You cut it off.
Everybody give it up for Joey! But we've been involved.
Yeah.
Testing. Testing. We live at you from Norwalk, Connecticut.
Sir.
The 203.
You good?
I bet. Hey, how y'all feeling tonight, fam?
Amazing.
Y'all good? All right, so honestly, tonight, I just want to say I'm thankful and grateful for you guys to come out. A lot of new faces. I'm definitely grateful to be here. And tonight we're just going to be going over different ways how to make money online, digitally from your phone, from your laptops, and how to just, become an independent, successful entrepreneur. A little bit about myself. For those that don't know me, my name is Joseph Benicasso. I'm 22 years young, born and raised right in this town. Been in this town my whole life, so grateful for that. And, I actually did go through high school and I went to college at UConn Stanford, and it wasn't really something for me. So I did drop out of college and I just started getting my feet wet in a whole bunch of different jobs and, trying to get some more money. And, raise your hand if you always wanted more money, so you just look to get more jobs, right?
Yes.
Type.
So that was me for like a year or two, and I was working at a car wash, I was working at a smoothie shop, I was working at umpiring baseball games, then I did electrical work. So it was just a whole bunch of jumping around trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And then also raise your hand if, COVID kind of like tricked you up a little bit. You had to stay in the house for 8, 10, 12 months. You didn't really know what to do. Couldn't really travel, couldn't go out the house and meet new people. So it was a really tough time for a lot of people. And for me personally, I was actually diagnosed with diabetes in March 3rd, 2020, right when COVID started. So I was locked in the house, but I also had to change my habits, figure out what I could eat, what I couldn't eat, what I could do and what I couldn't do. So that's what really made me jump into, entrepreneurship and figuring out how to make money online, so I didn't have to, risk my health to, create that income. So that's where we're gonna go over this today. This is the 4-way cash flow quadrant, right? So anybody heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Right, so he's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of the best books. I could definitely advise you guys all to take that down. If you want, take out your phone, write some notes down, and definitely can help you out in the future. So the 4-way cash flow quadrant is basically just describing and explaining how the world's wealth is created and split throughout the world, right? So 60% of people in the whole entire world are working for somebody else, right? When I was working at the smoothie shop, I was working for the owner of the smoothie shop. When I was working for my dad, I was working for my dad, and I was helping him get more money. Obviously, the employee doesn't get as much as, the CEO or the owner of the company. So that's where, my mind started to open up, and it's like, okay, how could we become the CEO of whatever it is that we want to do, right? Then we have the 35% that work for themselves, barbers, nail techs, hairstylists, private doctors or dentists, like even like a lawyer, right? If you're a lawyer, but you don't have nobody to, attest and, be with to help in court or whatever the case may be, they won't be getting paid, Of course, they get a lot of money for that one person, but let's say they don't have nobody for multiple months, they won't be getting paid for a while, right? Same thing with a barber, right? If he doesn't bring his clippers on vacation and he's not cutting in the shop, he won't be getting paid, right? So once you clock out or once you stop doing that physical work, your income is, stopped. That's where we want to get to the 5%, right? So that's where we have 4% are large business owners, right? Like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, like these guys have systems in place, right? System actually stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, right? So these people have large businesses with people having systems run for them, where you won't see Jeff Bezos packaging a package or, delivering it to your doorstep, right? You'll never see that happen because he has people doing that for him. And then we also have the 1%, which are investor mindsets. You could invest in the sneakers, you can invest in clothes, you can invest in real estate, cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter what you invest in, but if you put your money somewhere where it could potentially go up in value, that's being an investor. And that's 1% of the world, so that's where the goal is to make our money make more money for us, right? We don't want to be exchanging our time for money. We want to exchange our money for more money, right? So that's the real all-time goal here, is just to create cash flow and create multiple different streams of income. So, we could go and do whatever it is that we want to do. Travel, become a business owner, clothing brand, whatever the case that you want to do, that's the whole goal right here. But that's a little bit about myself, and that's all I'm going to go over for tonight. But this next person that's about to come up and chop down the information, she, not only has she helped me over the past year and a half, like see the success that I've had, she's helped over hundreds of people all around the world, all throughout the United States, all up and down Connecticut. She's, literally the servant leader. She's a good trader. She's an amazing person. And not only that, I don't think I'd be talking up here in front of you guys if it wasn't for her. So, Donia Rose, definitely come on up here.
Appreciate you. Rock the corn. That was super great. How's everybody doing? Everybody's good?
Yes.
Everybody's feeling great? Okay, cool. Glad everybody is here and made it out. We're not going to be too long, but I'm going to introduce myself real quick before we get into some information. So my name is Donia Rose. I'm originally from Queens, New York, and I moved to Connecticut. Yeah, grab a seat, Joey. I moved to Connecticut when I was about 16 years old in the middle of high school, and then I ended up going to college as well. I went to Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, and I ended up doing 4 years, getting a whole bachelor's degree in exercise science. My plan was to go to get my PhD to be a physical therapist. And I started to think a lot when I was in college. I was like, is this something that I really want to do? During my senior year, I went to an internship and I absolutely hated it. So I was like, okay, I have to do something else. I don't know who in here relates to that, but I was like, I have to do something else. And so I started to talk to a lot of people on campus, and a lot of my friends, a lot of people that were in the same dorm room as me, in the same dorm building as me, they were actually talking about how to make money online. They were actually making money on their phones. And so I was like intrigued, because for me, all that I knew was, okay, go to school, get a job, and then just make money until I retire, right? Until I'm 65. That's all that I knew, because that is all that I see my parents do. And ever since I saw people my age look like me, talk like me, start making money on their phone, I was like, okay, cool. Maybe this is something that I could do as well. So that was about 2.5 years ago. I ended up getting started back in 2019, 2020. And I ended up starting to learn how to make money. The first thing that I ever saw, like within how to make money online, was actually something called the foreign exchange market. And who here has heard of the Forex market before? Forex for short. Okay, cool. So a lot of people in this room have heard of it before. For me, the only thing that I knew when it came to financial markets was the stock market. That's it. And I didn't even know how it worked. I just knew that it was companies. You put your money in, you invest it, and it grows if you're right. And that's all that I knew. But a few of my friends were also doing stocks. And then I heard about the foreign exchange market, and I started to learn that actually the foreign exchange market is the largest market in the entire world. So that is not dealing with companies. It's actually dealing with different currencies around the world. That's what the Forex market was. And it's funny because when I first started, I was hearing so many jokes about it. I was hearing so many jokes all on Instagram. There was so many memes about it. I don't know who in here saw those memes, but it was hilarious. It was so funny. But the thing is that a lot of people have heard of the term Forex before. They just don't know what it is. They just don't know how to make money with it. And so let's say, who here has been outside the country before? Okay, cool. So a lot of people, I love traveling. So that's something that I love to do whenever I get the chance. And if you have ever gone outside of the US, you exchange your US dollar for another currency, that's called a foreign exchange transaction. That's called a Forex transaction. And so everybody here has probably participated in the market. You didn't even know it, number one. Number two, you weren't able to make a profit with it because you just didn't know. And so a lot of the time what happens is that, yeah, you can make a profit when you're exchanging one currency for another currency, like in real time, in real life. But at the same time, you could do it all on your phone. And that is the most powerful thing. Honestly, it's 2022. It's about to be 2023. If you don't know how to make money on your smartphone, then it's kind of something you should be looking into, because this is something really, really powerful. And so that's the first thing that I personally ever got introduced to when it comes to making money online. And then I started hearing about cryptocurrency, which is digital currency, DCX. Who here has heard about crypto or Bitcoin before? Okay, cool. So all that cryptocurrency is, you guys, is just digital money. That's all that it is. And I'm going to explain kind of like the evolution of money really quick so you guys could kind of get a perspective for those of you that may not understand it completely. But the crypto market is just another market. It's actually within the Forex market, but it's basically the same thing almost as the stock market, except instead of companies, it's just digital money. So for example, a long time ago, you guys, if I wanted to buy something, it had to be in the form of objects or items. So if I wanted this water, right, from Shania, I would give her maybe rice or oranges, whatever she wanted for it, right? And I would get that water. That was the currency back in the day. And then they started to use gold coins. All right, and after gold coins, they started using the US dollar. And then after the US dollar, majority of us have what? Debit cards and credit cards, right? Bank accounts. That's all that we use now, are debit cards and our credit cards. After that, personally for me, I use Apple Pay for everything. Everything. I haven't used my actual card in so long. It's definitely in my wallet, it's in my bag. But I use Apple Pay for like everything, and money just keeps on evolutionizing. So the next step after Apple Pay, Venmo, Cash App, all this technology on our phone is cryptocurrency. And so Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency out there. It's also the most popular. And right now it's at about, last time I checked, it's about like 23K. That's how much it was about. Let's say 20K, right? $20,000 per coin. Now, you don't have to have 20K in order to start investing or trading into crypto. You could start investing with as little as like $10 into Bitcoin. But this is the thing, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, you are able to grow your money. So let's say right now at 20K, we invested $10 into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes all the way up to 70K, which it has before in the past, if it goes all the way up to 70K, our $10 will also grow as well. I'm not too good with math in my head, so we're not gonna do that right now. But you guys get the point, right? If you invested $100, that'd be even more growth. If you invested $500, that'd be even more growth. And so that's how investing into cryptocurrency works. You could do this with other cryptocurrencies out there, not just Bitcoin. You can do Ethereum, you could do XRP, you could do Solana, a whole bunch of different cryptos out there. But this is the thing, this is the craziest part about crypto. There's like 10 different ways where you can make money with crypto alone online, which is insane to me personally. Another way is day trading crypto. So day trading crypto, you can make money whether the market goes up or down. How about NFTs? We have some NFTs here in the room. All the pieces that actually light up are NFTs. And NFTs are basically digital art pieces where you could sell and resell for a higher price. Kind of like sneakers. If you guys know how the sneaker game works, it's kind of similar to that. And so many other ways where you can make money within cryptocurrency. And then another way of trading is TBX. So this is time-based trading. This is the third style of way you can make money online. And this is really fast-paced style of trading. This is a really fun style of trading as well. For me, the first time I ever tried this, I made like $16 in 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how did that happen? I was like, usually this takes me like 2 hours at work. And I'm like slaving over here. And like my manager's yelling at me to make $16. And I just made it in 2 minutes. And I didn't believe it. Long story short, it's a really fun style of trading, and yes, you can make money pretty fast within this style of trading, but it's also a higher risk, okay? So if you don't like the higher risk aspect of it, I wouldn't really recommend it. And then of course, there's e-commerce as well. So who here knows like what e-commerce is? Okay, Okay, pretty good amount of people. So e-commerce is just building up your own online store and selling products completely online. So you don't have to, go to the store. You don't have to hand people the product. You don't have to ship it out, nothing like that, which is really cool. So it's all from your computer, your phone. And so when it comes to making money online, you guys, the most important thing to understand is that anybody can do this. I know that anybody in this room is very capable to make any type of money from their phones right now. The only thing is that you just have to have the proper information to do this, okay? I know 12-year-olds that are doing this. I know 60-year-olds that are doing this, that are making money from their phone. I know people that are disabled doing this. I know people that are very well abled, okay? And so anybody in this room is, much able to be able to do this, but the best thing that you want to know is that education is the most important part. So for me, I didn't know where to learn this. I honestly started Googling it and I started YouTubing it one night, the first time I heard about it, and I was confused. I was very confused. It was super confusing because when you start Googling and YouTubing, cryptocurrency, how to make money with crypto, how to make money with stocks, how to make money with trading, it's so confusing. Like, it's the hardest thing. It looks like Chinese, honestly. And the crazy part about it is that it looks way harder than what it actually is. And so I asked a few people that went to the same college as myself. I said, how are you guys doing this? How are you guys learning this? I want to learn from, how you guys are doing this. And I ended up getting on a Zoom call with this girl. Her name was Vass. And she lives in Connecticut as well. And she showed me exactly what she was using. She showed me the whole platform. So we're going to show you the platform over here. And it's called I Am Academy. And it's just an educational platform. And it teaches you how to do everything that you need to know about what we just spoke about, okay? And it teaches you a whole lot of different stuff, okay? Just honestly, how to be an entrepreneur in general. And so I'm gonna be completely honest right here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, you guys. I have learned way more information on how to actually obtain real life money on this platform than I have my 4 years in college. And I know that the next speaker that's coming up, she could say the exact same thing. And it's just insane to me what college really teaches you and what college doesn't teach you. I'm not down on college, but I'm gonna explain what this does. So there's 3 pillars to the platform, okay? The first thing is that you get access to beginner videos on whatever you wanna learn about. So let's say you wanna learn about crypto, right? That's like your favorite thing, whatever. You're gonna get access to an academy with about 200 videos. It's a lot of information that they give you, which is good because they give you a lot. They give you everything that you need to know. But all the videos are like 5-10 minutes long and they're all basic stuff. Okay, so it's pretty easy to get through. So this is gonna be your first step. They have this with Forex as well. They have this with e-commerce, all the other different types of styles. And so that's the first thing. The second part about this is go live. This is the most important thing. This is what helped me the most. This is what got me here. And what this is, there's about 200 educators. They're going to go on a live stream every single day at different times of the day. And they're going to teach you how they trade in live time. So they have this, you guys, in like 16 different languages. So if English is not your first language, if it's Spanish, then amazing. They have a lot of educators that also teach in Spanish. If it's I don't know what other language, Portuguese, there we go, right, Marcos? And so those are some of the top featured traders. Again, you can go this is my favorite here, Mike Neverett. He's my favorite. I watch him every single morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays. He also has a Spanish session almost every single day as well. And Sean is one of my favorites as well for crypto. And so you guys could also you could go to the schedule, actually show them the schedule, what that looks like. For me, I was so busy. a lot of my friends were telling me about this and I was like, I can't, I'm too busy because I worked full time as a server at a restaurant and I also went to school full time, college. And I was like super busy. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna fit in my schedule. I'm already studying for school. This is the thing though, there's a schedule of when they go live and all that you need to do is hop on 1 session a day. That's what I always tell people. Hop on 1 go live session a day. It's about an hour long max. And they go live at different times. So if you're free at 3 a.m., there will be a session probably at 3 a.m. where the educator is going live, or maybe 2 p.m. or 1 p.m., 8 a.m., whatever it is, right? So right now, one of the educators for crypto, actually for DCX, Sean is live right now. And what he's doing, you can see the live button up top. What he's doing is he's looking at the market. I know it looks crazy for those of you that have never seen a market before. and all look crazy. But he's going over the market right now and showing us what trades he's getting into. So it's insane. It's kind of like Elon Musk. Everybody knows who Elon Musk is here, right? Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, right? Let's say he's sitting right next to you and he says, yo, you guys, I'm going to invest a lot of my money into Apple. Or I'm going to invest a lot of my money into Tesla, like tomorrow. I'm going to make so much bread. I'm going to make so much money because of that. I'm pretty sure the smart thing to do would to follow him, right? To follow what he's doing, to also invest in whatever he's investing to, because he's smart. He has the information. He has the results. And so this is the exact same thing. Kind of hear him on the live.
You more than likely are not aiming to get in if price stopped right here. So
he's explaining when he's getting into the market, when he's not. And it's cool because it's also for beginners. There's a chat box on the right hand side, and then every single session is also recorded, so you can go back and keep on watching. But when I tell you guys, this is what really helped me the most. This is what helped me go full time into this in about 6, 7, 8 months, which I'm really grateful. But that's what helped me the most. And then there is also the third part to this, the last part, is that you're gonna get access to a few apps and scanners that's gonna help you get into trades when you're new. For me, my first trade that I ever gotten into, it was like my first week. I made $10. That's how much I made, my first trade ever. I didn't know what was going on. I literally had no idea. All I knew was that an educator sent me a trade through an app, and they were like, hey, go ahead and take this trade. Go ahead and buy right here, or go ahead and sell right here, buy Bitcoin right here. I got into a trade with an educator from one of these apps, and I was able to make money while I was still learning. So a lot of the people, what they do, they come in while they're learning. Their first week, they're making profit. Their first month, they're making profit. I'm not gonna tell you guys that you're gonna be rich overnight. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna be rich in like a couple weeks, in a few months. It's not gonna happen. This is not a get rich quick type of a thing. That's what I want you guys to understand. This is a get rich for sure type of a thing, because if you stick with this for a few months, if you stick with this for a few years, you are going to see success. You're going to see the results as long as you're utilizing the platform. That's honestly the most raw I can get right here. But that's what it is. These are all of the results of the trade ideas that's been sent out. Basically, if you see 50 plus pips or 400 plus pips, whatever it is, that basically means that the trade, whoever took these trades, people made money on these trades, okay? And that's how it works, okay? Obviously, for something like this cannot be free. All right, this is like, it'd be insane for this to be free. And for me, I was on a call with that girl Vass I was telling you guys about, and she was like showing me all this. She was showing me the whole platform. She was showing me all the educators. I'm like, damn, like she's gonna tell me this is like $5K, like $2,000. How much do you guys think? I'm just curious. I do this sometimes. How much do you guys think something like this is? Unless you pull it up already. Huh?
Thousands.
Thousands?
Few hundreds, probably.
Few hundreds. Anybody else? Guesses? Any guesses? You said 100? 100? Okay. Okay. So for me, I thought it was gonna be like 3,000, 5,000, because I'm thinking of like college courses. You know, college tuition's like crazy expensive. And for something like this, she goes, "Oh, girl, it's only 235 to get started." So, dang, you was right. She goes, "It's only 235 to get started." I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to like save up a whole bunch of money. So it's really only 235 to get access to a whole bunch of this information. And the thing is, what a lot of people like to tend to focus on, that's what I focused on years ago, was damn, like I'm gonna have to spend $200 for this. That's crazy. But what you don't understand is that this is multi-million dollars worth of information. I know people that got themselves to 6 figures off of this information. Real life. I know them in real life. I know people that got themselves to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures because of this type of information. So this is all what you do with it, okay? There is a monthly fee of $174 because of the fact that the educators, they keep on working, honestly. They keep on giving you trades. They keep on looking at the market for you. So they honestly have to get paid somehow. But last thing I'm going to talk about before I pass it on is there's actually a way to waive your monthly fee completely for free, which is something, once I heard that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, how do you get that? So the way that you do this, the company says, if you know 2 people that want to get started as well, that want to do this as well, you can go ahead and refer them to the platform, and now you get your monthly fee waived every single month for free. And that is how that works. And honestly, for me, it made sense. A lot of companies do this. Uber does this. They give you free rides. Cash App does this. You go into the referral program tab on Cash App. They'll give you $10 or something like that for every new person that you refer to Cash App. All companies do this because they understand that word of mouth marketing is the most powerful form of marketing out there. And so that is how that works for this company. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to one of my best friends. You have the mic on you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So she's actually one of my best friends. She is my best friend. We met in college freshman year, and she was one of the people that heavily influenced me to actually start within trading and start within entrepreneurship because, again, I was hearing this information from a lot of people. I got invited to events just like this. I didn't show up. Y'all did, so congrats to y'all. But I got invited to a lot of calls and people sent me videos of this and I just did not trust it. I honestly didn't trust it. I was like, I don't know about this. But once I saw my best friend get into it, I was like, yeah, it's kind of over. And my best friend's not gonna put me in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? So she really heavily influenced me into getting started and she's been helping me ever since for about 2.5 years now, which is crazy. She also helps a lot of other people around the world as well. She's the most hardworking person ever that I know. So everybody give a round of applause to Shania and welcome her. Yeah.
Thank you guys. How are y'all feeling?
Great.
The energy that here is feeling a little bit low. How are y'all feeling? For real, for real? Y'all lying? Who's lying? You lying? When y'all lying? You lying? If you lying, you flying. You laying flat out on that beanbag. All right, guys. So I'm going to be short and sweet, and then we're gonna wrap this thing on up. I'm very grateful that you guys could come out here. I do see a lot of new faces, so that's definitely exciting. Basically, all right, Donia and Joey just broke down all the information for you, so you got it. All right, that's all the information. That's what we do. That's how we do it. How we make money. Everything seems pretty crystal clear, right? Right? It was pretty easy to understand. It wasn't anything too crazy. Basically, so you guys know essentially how it is that I got involved. It was through a college friend. And so I went to the same school that Donia went to. She was my college roommate, and this was at Southern Connecticut State. I had this friend continuously talking to me about stuff like this, about investing, about this platform, about, you know, I needed to get my hands in here, and I dubbed him for a very long time. I ignored him for over a year. I watched him get successful. I watched other people in our life get successful. But I thought that I had my plan figured out because I knew what I was doing at the time. I was going to school full time. I was going to get my corporate job, and I was working in the restaurant industry. And then COVID happened, how Joey mentioned, closed everything down, shut everything down. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like this is where we're at right now. And I went back to that friend from college. I re-hit him up. I re-talked to him, and I said, put me on. I really just had to humble myself. I had to ask questions. And he led me to what it is that I do now. And to be honest, you guys, I started this as a side hustle, thinking that I was gonna support a friend. I started this like, okay, you know what? It's a couple $100. If I lose it, I lose it. If I don't lose it, whatever. And that was my mindset coming into it after a year of constant debate and battle. And now it's been 3 years. It's my full-time income. I've been able to speak in front of hundreds of people. I really value the fact that I can do this in Connecticut because I'm from Stanford. And this thing is going to grow to crazy amounts of people, impact, revenue, and it's just very exciting to be a part of this. But I did just start this as kind of a let's see what happens type of thing. So for you guys, the decision really is kind of already made for a lot of you guys in your head already. Whether you're looking at the information, you're like, oh, it's cool, and then you hear the price, and then you're like, oh, that sucks. Or, you know, you don't think that this is something you could learn or something you could get behind, or trading isn't for you, or you don't know anybody that could do this. Basically, Donia had said it. I mentioned this earlier as well when I was talking to a friend, but anybody could do this. Anybody could step into this space and do this. You just have to ask yourself if it's something that you're willing to do. Because the platform works. It's just a matter of the people that are a part of the platform, if they're going to work it and if they're going to make things happen from it. And so I sat in a room that was just like this 3 years ago. My first ever event. I walked in there. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I kind of just went in and I sat down in a seat, hoping nobody would really look at me. And basically, the guy in the front of the room said this. He said, to be honest, you guys, it doesn't matter to me whether you start in this or not. It doesn't matter to me whether you get signed up or you don't get signed up. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep on helping people. I'm going to keep on impacting people. I'm going to keep on making money because of this platform. but I would love for more like-minded people to do this with me. And it wasn't until he said that I actually took him serious and locked in with it. Because before that, I was very, very doubtful, very, very anti, very, very skeptical, but this is kind of where it is now. So for the last few minutes that I have with you guys, I'm gonna share with you the last way that you can make money out of this. This is optional. It's not for everybody and nobody can start it right now. Okay, but what this is being a business owner in the platform. So myself, Donia, Joey, the people that you heard here, what we also do is we make cash flow because of this platform. So in terms of the actual academy, the real reason that people are starting this is because they want to learn a skill set about how to make money through trading or investing or whatever the skill set might be. However, there's some people that they also want passive income. You guys know about passive income, what passive income is? Is there anybody that doesn't know what passive income is?
What is it?
Everybody's pretty on top of it. Passive income, for Joey only, because everybody else knows exactly what it is. It's just income that you're getting repeatedly, every single week, cash flow. So you have a car note, you have car insurance, you have a phone bill, you have a water bill, you have, rent, whatever it is. You're paying that every single month or every single week or however often you pay it. Passive income now, you're getting that no matter what happens. So a lot of us have bills that we're constantly paying out, and not a lot of us have streams of income continuously coming in. And so when you're looking at the passive income part of this business, you're able to decide that you want to be a business owner as well inside of the platform. If that is you, Donia said that you can have 2 people plug in with you into this entire organization. They have to be like-minded. They have to, actually have a good heart, actually have good intention with this. But if it's a family member, a relative, a neighbor, whoever it is, those 2 people get you free. Okay, now you are completely waived and you are good to go. Add 1 more person, now you start getting paid. So when you have somebody else that decides that they want to do this thing with you, they want to run it up as well, they're like-minded, they share the same vision, now you're going to start creating residual income. And you can scale that, you guys, anywhere from $150 extra every month to $750K every month. So obviously, not everybody's going to want to do that. Obviously, not everybody's going to think that that is for them, because I definitely did not when I first started. But what started to happen is I started to get results. I started to actually trade. I started to not have to go to work anymore, not have to clock in. And now to be able to travel for a living and talk about this business that I'm grateful for, that I will literally forever in my life be grateful for, because it's changed every single thing in my life right now, currently. I'm excited that I get to talk about this. So for some of you guys that, you're new here, your first time here, or whatever the case might be, how many people, I don't think we have any Platinum 150s in the room, but this is what unlocks everything, okay? At Platinum 600, this is where now you are completely profitable. I was about to say passive, but all of this is passive. Profitable inside of the entire organization, because now you're making $600 every single month, and you're literally able to scale this however far you want. So when I used to bartend, one of the things that used to mess me up about bartending is that I was the person that was consistently bringing in the most tips every single night. And I loved bartending. And it was something that actually made me feel good, and I actually enjoyed it, and it was a nice gig. But if I'm making all the tips every single month I'm bringing in the majority of the house tips, and there's other bartenders, other servers that are not doing anything. They're on their phone the entire shift, or they're doing whatever it is that they're doing the entire shift. It kind of makes you start to put your work ethic at a different level. It starts to make you think about, okay, what is it that you actually want to do, or what could you do, right? What could you actually do if you had no capacity to your income? I know that I work hard, right? I know that I have a good hustle, a good work ethic. So for me to be able to know that I can scale this to however many amounts of income that I want, amounts of dollars that I want in my bank account every single month, we know people at every single one of these levels. People that are friends to us, people that we talk to, people that we can actually associate with. And it's not this weird taboo thing of, oh, it's one of those things again. It's one of those things. It's one of those scams. It's one of those things that won't work, or it only works for certain people, or whatever the case might be. You just have to ask questions. You have to be intuitive, and you have to take action towards it. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start to look at this now, this can all look a little bit scary. So this is again why I'm saying to you, this is completely optional, but this is something that you guys want to be able to at least have insight so that you know what it is that you have the ability to do inside of the platform. So in general, you guys are really just going to have to kind of see with yourselves, what are your goals? Because this is what I want you guys to kind of like leave this all off with. All this is, it is a vehicle. That's it. This is a vehicle to get you more capital, more dollar bills, more money into your bank account. Because you will be able to take that income and do whatever it is that you want to do with that for your future life. If you have a goal in this room, if you have a plan of action in this room, if you have some type of vision, raise your hand or say I or
I.
Okay? If you know what you want to do, now you have to actually game plan out and figure out how can I execute to get to that level the most efficient, the fastest, the most lucrative for myself, the least stressful. You have to start to actually put things into play. Otherwise, we're just those people that kind of just dream and dream and dream and have no plan of action and don't actually do nothing, okay? So when you start to put yourself in a mindset where, okay, what is logical? The platform is logical. The education is real. The results, they're there. And then you start to, as well, establish yourself around a community, around a network of people. Joey and Donia, that's my brother and my sister. I would do anything for them, and I know it's reciprocal because we have the same vision. We have a similar mindset. We want to actually take our life to another level. There's not a lot of people in fucking Norwalk, Connecticut that want to do that, or in Connecticut in general. Okay, so like when you start to really like surround yourself with the people that actually are pushing towards something, have some sort of goal, you'll naturally start to feel more motivated. You'll naturally start to go after more of your goals, more of your dreams, more big picture things in your life. But you just have to have a clear cut executed plan. And this is just one example of how to do that. So I'm gonna leave you guys off with two things, okay? And then I'm done. Whoever's on aux, I don't know if it's one or two, my beanbag bros, but just make sure that the aux is ready for to play music. But these are the last 2 points I want to make. Do you guys feel like you've gotten some level of value here tonight? This was a much smaller event, a much more intimate event. So it's always nicer when it's just a smaller group of people. But hopefully you guys have something. You gained something. You've learned something. Okay. The last two things that I'm going to leave you with are 1 and 2. So 1 is pay attention to who you're listening to. This goes for anything, but especially when it comes to this. Because when I first heard about this, when I first learned about what this could do, I went immediately and talked to my best friends, and they told me it was bullshit. They told me it was absolutely nonsense, that it wasn't gonna work and it was gonna be a waste of my time. My parents also said the same thing because West Indian household, Trinidadian parents, they told me that if I was spending money on the internet, I was getting got. Like I was in for it. Somebody was trying to get me. And what I didn't understand at that point is that my friends and my parents, none of them had the income or the lifestyle that I wanted. But I was listening to them because that's the only people that I ever listened to my entire life. Beyond that, this will take you to where you want to go as long as you allow it to. And what does John always say? There's one quote that our mentor says all the time, and he's like, if I put you and me up in a race, and we were racing together down a track, and I was in a broken down Honda Civic. And then you were in a 2022, somebody name a sports car. Ferrari. What did you say? Lamborghini. Ferrari Lamborghini hybrid. Okay. But I had been training to be a NASCAR driver my whole life, and you had never driven before in your life. Which one of us do you think is gonna win the race?
The Honda Civic, because you could just throw him out his Lamborghini and teach him.
Oh my god.
Okay, granted, nobody throws anybody out. Granted, nobody throws anybody out because I'm a lover, not a fighter. Okay.
The
Lambo Ferrari hybrid. He's gonna take it just because of the fact that it's just the vehicle that you're in. All right, guys. So with all that being said, definitely appreciate every person for being here. Claps it up for you guys. But our next kind of like get together is going to be actually a trade night. So it's not going to be an event. Trade night is this coming Wednesday. Come with your laptops, come with your notebooks, come with your pens, papers, whatever it is. If you're new, if you want to bring people that have not been here before, just give them the rundown first and foremost. But this Wednesday, it's a trade night. I think it's our first trade night out of here.
In here.
Yeah, it's our first trade night in here, so that's gonna be extra exciting. If anybody has questions for that, let me know. Otherwise, get your questions answered and turn up. You guys are all free to go. If you have questions specifically for any of us, definitely let us know. But yeah.
Clap for Shania.